with incomplete accounting records. One is statement of affairs method that we'll see in the later slide, and that students have studied in HSC also. And a conversion method, which is normally there in the first year degree college. It might be BCom, BAF, or any degree commerce course for that purpose. The statement of affairs that you have studied, you know that for having statement of affairs and ascertaining profit or loss, in the problem, you are given with assets and liabilities of the opening date of the accounting year or period and closing date or of the accounting year or period. What we do with these assets and liabilities? With opening assets and liabilities, we prepare a statement which looks like balance sheet, asset liabilities, but we don't call that balance sheet. It is called as statement of affairs. Why it is called statement of affairs and not balance sheet? The basic difference between the two is this. Balance sheet always tallies on its own. So balance sheet never ever have a balancing figure. Whereas statement of affairs, though it looks like a balance sheet, it is not a balance sheet because it will always have some figure as a balancing figure. That we'll see in the later slide. So with these opening assets and liabilities, we prepare opening statement of affairs, where we get normally a balancing figure as opening capital. Similarly, with closing assets and liabilities, we prepare a statement of affairs, which looks like balance sheet, but with a balancing figure, which is a closing capital. Then what we do? Then by taking that closing capital and opening capital, we make comparison. And while making this comparison, certain adjustments which are not dealt with, like bad debts written off, RDD provided for, depreciation on fixed asset, which are not dealt with, they are dealt with in that statement of profit or loss for that particular year or period, which we'll see in the next slide. Now, what is the result of this comparison? In the beginning, we start with closing capital as given to us by the closing statement of affairs. From that, we minus the expenses and losses which are not dealt with. For example, I said bad debts written off, RDD provided for, depreciation on fixed assets which is not charged. And after that, we minus opening capital, which is given to us by the opening statement of affairs. And finally, then what figure we get. On the basis of that, we say whether it is a profit or not. If it is a positive difference, then we call it as a profit for the accounting year or period given. And if it is unfortunately a negative figure, then that indicates the loss made in that particular accounting year or period. Let us take this example. In this example, you see, we have one statement of affairs which looks like balance sheet on the opening date and closing date also side by side. And on the left hand side, you see the very first figure is the capital, and that is the balancing figure. In that 1st April 2019 column, what we get is opening capital, and 31st March 20, what you can see is a closing capital. It is having all other assets, liabilities like loans, creditors, bills payables, outstanding expenses, bank overdraft on the liability side. They are all given. On the asset side, you are given fixed assets, investment, stock, debtors, bills receivable, cash and bank. These all details of assets and liabilities are given except capitals. And these capitals we have ascertained as a balancing figure. Now, with these capitals so ascertained, let us see what is the position of profit or loss of that small business. Now, we start with closing capital 14,15,000. So depreciation on fixed asset, which is not charged, say it is 20% on 10 lakhs, so 2 lakhs. Bad debts which were to be written off. Bad debt means what? You have sold goods to a customer, and unfortunately, because that customer is no more, or that customer is declared as insolvent by the court of law, you cannot recover that amount from that customer. And after all your ways and means of recovering that amount, when you come to know that it is just not possible to recover it, we call it as bad debts. So it is in way loss. So that we minus. Then there are certain customers who actually are doubtful to be recovered, means they are not bad debts, but their financial condition is not so sound, and it might so happen that they are actually very sick, they might be on deathbed. So we are having 50% chances whether we can recover amount from these customers or not. And normally for such customers and these amounts, we provide for RBD. So that is, say, 5%, and that is 1750. Now, one point here, students, you have to understand, it is always the debtors amount closing balance minus the bad debts, that is 1000. On the balance amount, we have to provide this RBD that you have studied in your FYJC, SYJC also. After that, you have to minus opening capital that is given to us by the opening statement of affairs. And then after that, if the resultant figure is positive, which is here 1,07,250, and being positive figure, it indicates the profit made by that small businessman in that particular year. Now let us go to a situation where there could be a loss possible, because see, everybody in this world starts a business to make a profit, but it might so happen that there might be certain conditions which are not in his hand, like now in COVID this last 2-3 months. Now the things are beyond control, so many small businesses, and for that matter big businesses also, companies, are going to suffer losses. So there might be a situation where there could be a loss. So taking the same example where the opening assets liabilities are given to you, and except capital balances which we have ascertained here as balancing figure, you can see here the opening capital balancing figure 11,05,000 and closing capital balance is 12,15,000. Now when we compare these two in the next statement, you will come to know closing capital 12,15,000, same amount of depreciation 2 lakhs subtracted, bad debts 1,000 subtracted, RBD 1750 subtracted, opening capital 11,05,000 subtracted, and unfortunately here you can see the difference is negative 92750. It indicates the loss made by that small businessman in that particular year or period. Friends, this statement of affairs, what we actually arrive at the profit or loss, unfortunately, is less accurate and it is on estimated basis. It is just derived by comparing closing and opening capital. It is not ascertained in our normal double entry bookkeeping systems where the proper trial balance is there, adjustments are there, and the asset liabilities, the figures which are readily given to us in the problem, they might not be accurate. And that's why there is a need for the today's topic, accounting from incomplete record, that is by conversion method. Now these problems which I have actually spelled out here in this slide, let us understand from a common example. This profit or loss which we have seen in the earlier slides, it might be correct or it might not be correct. Why? Because that is on estimated basis. That is not perfect. That is on approximate basis. For example, let us take this case that a lady goes to a market with 500 rupees note. She has bought certain vegetables and groceries, etc. And when she comes back, she is having only 120 in her pocket. Now, unfortunately, she has not maintained records. She doesn't know how to maintain, for example. Say, suppose she has not taken bills also from the shopkeepers. And when she comes back, like that small businessman who is not having his proper books of accounts and records, because he's not having knowledge of that, she tells her husband that today I have spent 380 rupees. How she has calculated this 380 rupees? Because she had taken 500 rupee note with her and she has brought back 120 rupees. So she thinks that she has spent 380 rupees. But here, friends, she may be wrong. Because it might have happened that she has lost 100 rupee note in the market while buying something. It might have happened that a particular shopkeeper, he must have taken 200 rupee note from her, and by treating knowingly or unknowingly that note as 100 rupee note, he must have returned the balance amount to her. So certain things going on approximate basis never helps in accounting, because you know one thing. Now let me tell you this very serious thing. Now you know this is a tension of COVID now, and now all the banks, with due respect to all chartered accountants, with all the tensions now, they are in the banks to do the audit. Why audit is required? Because unless we do audit, we can't give auditor report. We can't certify the final accounts of that bank. Unless we certify that bank cannot upload that on the stock exchange and they cannot publish it for the shareholders. AGM cannot be held. And on the basis of this, there are many stakeholders who are depending upon these final accounts of the company or banking company here. So the chartered accountants are giving their service in today's date also in this COVID tension by going to the banks and by taking all precautionary measures, because the accuracy of the figures only is ascertained after the auditors audit that. Similarly, in this example, that amount 380 rupees calculated by that lady is not accurate, because this is on estimated basis. And in accountancy, accuracy is very, very important. And by accuracy, we say that we are sure that this figure is resulting or revealing a true and fair view of the profit or loss, which we call, and true and fair position of assets and liabilities. And that's why, friends, today's topic we have taken for interaction.